Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm working on the K24 swap FRS, and this one, if you guys have missed it, I still have it. It hasn't gone anywhere. This thing's been K-swapped for over 2 years now. It's been great for the most part, other than vibration issues. The one thing that's always been a big pain to deal with is the cooling system. It doesn't have issues staying cool or overheating. The issue is burping the system. If I get an air bubble in it or have to drain the coolant for some reason, it's always a pain to burp the system again. It takes a few hours sometimes. No joke, I'm pretty sure I can pull engine and take this thing apart a lot faster than it takes me to bleed and burp the coolant system. A lot of other people have this issue as well, and I'm getting kind of sick and tired of dealing with it. So I'm going to try to find a solution for it. I'm really just going off of theories and what other people have had experience with and done. But I think the air bubbles are getting stuck kind of in the back of the block, and it's not making it to the thermostat. It's not opening the thermostat, so it's not circulating the coolant well enough to make it burp. And what I think one of the main culprits is on the factory thermostat housing. You see this, it's like a little plug, and in the swap kit it gives like a little plug to plug up that part of the thermostat. Originally that's meant for the heater core. It goes to the heater. This uses a different port for the heater. But since that's blocked off, I don't think that thermostat is getting adequate, good enough coolant flow to that thermostat, and it's not opening it. It always takes forever for that thermostat to open. Like this thing can be 245 degrees, like boiling hot on that side, but cool to the touch on this side, because that thermostat doesn't want to open. I've tried drilling extra holes in the thermostat. I've tried running no thermostat at all. So I've been trying a few different things. It's just how it works. Like,
I can smell the failure.
Like once it's burped and bled, whatever, car runs fine. It runs cool. It stays cool. It's just getting there sucks. I was literally stuck on the side of the road this past weekend, all because I couldn't bleed the damn system. It took for me forever to get home. So, yeah, I'm going to try something else. So I picked up a different K-Power upper radiator hose adapter thingy. This one is meant for the Miata swap, but it still has the upper radiator hose going in the same direction. The thing that's different about this one, it has this extra port on this side. The one that's on it doesn't have that port. See, this guy goes on the back of the block right here and points to the passenger side. And I want this port to go to that thermostat to give it more hot water, hot coolant. I believe other people have done similar things, so I figured I'd give it a try and see if it works out for us. But first, I gotta drain the coolant and take my valve cover off. That way I can get access to that port. It's on the back. It's really hard to get to, hard to see. So that kind of sucks.
One eternity later.
Hey, I got it off. It was kind of a pain because you can see there's not much room back there. I tried to take as much stuff off as possible, but on good news, look how nice this head is. How clean. That's what, using good oil intervals. Even though I beat on this car and do a lot of track days, it still looks great. Next time I want you to do that, or you can just put it in for me and make life a lot easier. What do you say? Good job. So I got the old one off. You see it's very similar, except for it doesn't have that port, and it has two ports on top. but the back of it is still the same. Well, I guess this one has a slightly larger port. One thing I'm not sure about yet is the threads for this guy, my temperature sensor, if it's the same here or not. Hopefully it's the same. Okay, the temperature sensor, it does not fit this hole, but it does fit this hole. But unfortunately it has this groove in it. Which this does not have an O-ring or anything like that. So I need something that's the same size as that groove, because I'm afraid this is end up leaking. Probably will put some Teflon tape, that will help a little bit. But the kit does come with this guy, this little O-ring. I might steal this O-ring. And the reason the kit comes with this, because you gotta take the temperature sensor away from here. This is where it is from the factory, and replace it with this. But I already have one on the back of the block with my other kit. So yeah, let's do this O-ring. Okay, the O-ring is on. But now it looks like it is just the right size for it to seat pretty well, and that should work. Like I said, I put some Teflon tape on it to add a little bit more security. The other port has this guy. It has a little crush washer, so I'll put that in that other port. Hey, I got my sensor on, the O-ring, Teflon tape, my little plug, so if I want to add another sensor or something later, I can, or a port. I got this guy, put Teflon tape on it as well, got it rinsed down. Hopefully none of this will leak, because that'll be a bad day. But before I put that guy back on, I want to get this access to my little thermostat. I need to take that guy off. Should be a 10 mil to take this little bracket off, then pop the plug out. Hey, I got my little plug out. Like I said, 10 mil bracket. I had to pry this out, try not to mess up the plastic housing. But I did kind of underestimate the actual size of it. See the green? That port's pretty big. I think when I was looking up information, I thought it was 3/4 inch diameter. I think the one next to it is 3/4. This one is going to be bigger. Not sure what size yet. So I got to figure out a way to go from this size, it was like, I think 5/8, to whatever that is. A fat boy. Hey, it's the next day, and look what I found. This is the original piece that goes to that thermostat housing that goes to the heater for the factory K24, and I should be able to use this. So as you can see, I have it mocked up on the other engine. This is where this port's gonna live, and this guy, if I use the existing bolt, it comes out here. Ideally, I like to keep this so it keeps that guy in the thermostat housing, so it's less likely to come out. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough room, because on the intake manifold there's like a coolant port right here that might interfere. So I'm probably going to have to do some trial and error. I'm going to go ahead and cut this and try it on a car so you can see if it's going to work. Okay, I got this little guy trimmed up, but it's not going to work because where it stops, I have my slave sonar, and it's going to interfere here. And it doesn't really give me enough room to put the hose on it and get to the other port, so I'm going to have to chop it a lot further down, which will make routing the hose a lot easier, simple. But I just hope that this O-ring is enough to keep this guy in the thermostat housing. Hopefully this W works. Got it all cleaned up. Let's put it on. Okay, now that I know that that works, I gotta figure out my hose situation. The pipe, this is just mock-up, that gets a 3/4 inch inner diameter. We'll fit on that. And this one needs a 5/8 diameter, which means I need an adapter going from there to there. So that kind of sucks. which I thought about ahead of time, and I ordered a bulb adapter like a week ago off Amazon, and it's still not here. It keeps on saying, oh, it's going to show up next day. Oh, it's going to show up next day. It's going to show up next day. So I've been waiting for that bulb for a few days now. But while I'm waiting on that, I can go ahead and put this guy in. It's not going to be fun. It's really hard to get to the bottom Allen head bolts because you can't really see it, and it's like a tight fit. But I will probably go ahead and put the hose on this side just a little bit and just trim it up later when I get the part I need. Well, I tried to put that guy on there, but the line is hitting all the other lines for the heater core. I have a little elbow there. It goes right for the heater core. That guy. I might try to get rid of it.
A few moments later.
So things might have escalated. I went ahead and screw it. I took the intake manifold off to get more room because it's so tight back in there. But at least now you can kind of see what's going on, what I'm working with. And I got the adapter on. You can see how close it is to this hose for the heater core hose. Yep, that's how tight it is. So I'm going to have to try to squeeze another hose in there. And this is what was on it. It uses part of the factory FRS BRZ adapter. And yeah, it's essentially hitting all this. So I'm going to try to see what hose will work better. So I got my heater hose situated. I found a pretty good one that's already in the right direction because it has to go from here to right here, so not very far. So it had to have a natural curve to it to get back to the intake. I got my hose on this guy, my hose on this guy. I'm still waiting on my adapter to make them meet. I was really hoping it would show up by now, but I essentially had to cancel the order and order a new one because it's been like a few miles away for the past few days now. So I guess it's lost in transit. So order another one. So I'm going to go ahead and put the intake back on. I was hoping to show you that before I did that, but maybe not. You get the gist of what I'm doing. And of course, as soon as I went to go do something else, work on the other car, my part came in, which is the one I ordered yesterday, last night actually. So hopefully this guy fits, and gotta finish working on the Z. I had to take the door panel apart because when I went to go get out the other day, I pulled this strap and it came off in my hand. It's like, what the hell? Apparently this thing is just zip tied to the mechanism, so I had to take that apart and figure that out. It also mounted this phone mount, which is just like a golf cart mount onto the door cord because I have nowhere to put my phone and it likes to slide in my pocket. So hopefully that's come handy. Hey, everything's back together. Finally, I got my adapter, my two hoses connected. It's really hard to see because it's all underneath the intake manifold. But hopefully I didn't forget to plug anything up or attach anything. I think I got everything. All that's really left is to put coolant back in it and make sure nothing's leaking and see if I can bump it. Or does it overheat or all that jazz. And hopefully it's a lot easier to burp the system and get coolant flowing and all of that. So let's cross my fingers. Like I said, this is all theory. I haven't tested anything out. And will really suck if it doesn't work. Yeah, I did a lot of work to get to here. Hey, I think we have a success. I got the car burped. It definitely didn't take as long as it used to. It still took me a few tries of letting it run up to temperature, turn it off, run up to temperature, turn it off. Yeah, I don't see any coolant leaks. The driver's side radiator hose got the temperature a lot hotter, a lot sooner than it normally would. Normally, it would like the damn thing would be 220 22 and 30 degrees on this side and ice cold on the other side, but it was pretty warm, pretty fast. So that's definitely a plus. I did might have screwed up on the first run. I forgot to put coolant in my reservoir, so it could have been sucking air through here. So yeah, but once I added coolant to that, it seemed to boil pretty quickly. I'm getting heat in the heater, but I do have a leak. I have an oil leak back there. Unfortunately, I didn't have any RTV. I thought I had some, and it's a good idea to put RTV on the back corner of the valve cover, and I'm leaking a bunch of oil back there. That's why I have a rag, so to help clean it up a little bit, we'll soak it up, but it got pretty nasty back there. So the valve cover is going to have to come back off, and I have to clean that up. I could have swore I had some RTV, but all the stuff I can find will all dried up. So I'm going to have to go to the store and fix that before I can do my test drive. A other option was to find a bung. It's kind of like this. This is one I had laying around. And thread this yourself. Consider drilling it out, getting tap and die set, but without taking it out, I wasn't sure how much room I had back there. It looks like I had plenty of room. There's like a little step there, but that shouldn't be too bad of an issue. This area is a little bit smaller because of the roundness, so it might be kind of hard to draw out. So if you want to try the cheaper method, that is an option. Drill it out, get a good tap and die set, tap it out, thread this guy in, some RTV or thread tape on it. But that is a little bit more risky. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to pull it off, tap and die it not work, me go through all this process for it to not work. Then just I had to buy the other part anyway. So I just went ahead and bought the other part. I'm not saying it won't work. It's just more of a gamble. Hey, I did a few test drives, driving around the neighborhood, did a few pulls just to see how things do. Things seem to be working out pretty well. It does seem to take a little bit longer to get up to temperature. Granted, it is cold out. Like this morning it was like 38 degrees, so pretty chilly. So it's kind of expected. A little loud. But of course, the car stayed cool. Once the car would get up to temperature, it would do like normal. It would get up to 94. Fans would kick on. Temperatures would start cooling down. I let it sit running for a while, and everything seems to be working out. Like I said before, it did seem to bleed a lot easier. Did a few pulls. I don't see anything leaking. This is all water because I had to wash it because I had a lot of oil and coolant everywhere. I did take my valve cover back off and re-RTV the valve cover to fix my leak because I was leaking oil pretty bad back there, and it gets to the point where it's filling up that cup. So cleaned out all that up. I am still in testing phase. So far, test one, things are going good. I have not done a track day or anything like that on it. So if there's something you're thinking about doing, hit me up in the comments and maybe on a later date and see how I like it. As of right now, the only track days I have planned is in March at Binge Track Days. I haven't decided if I'm taking this car or the Fit yet. Kind of depends on how things go. Unfortunately, I don't have any Grid Life events planned, taking a break for this year. It's just getting too expensive for me. But I do plan on driving the car around town. Maybe do some highway pulls or something like that to further test out the cooler system. As of right now, things seem to be good. But I hope you got something out of this video. But like I said before, if you have questions, if you think about doing this yourself, just shoot me a comment. That always helps the algorithm. And I will see you next time. Peace.